that's cool about winter is you get to see tracks in the snow. So these tracks are made by a hare or a rabbit. Actually, it's a jackrabbit. It's an Alberta jackrabbit. Well, today is February 10th. It's warming up. It's only about -21 right now, so it's not dangerously cold, but it's still very cold. Too cold to really go out and do anything enjoyable. But I'm gonna do a little video today, follow up on last week, kind of. Somebody asked me to do a video on winter boots and how to stay warm in this kind of weather, or how to keep your feet warm in this kind of weather. So my goal is to try and do a video every week, and it gets challenging when I'm not hiking, but I'll do my best. Actually, I lied. It's only -18. Hey guys, Marty up north. So, like I said outside earlier, it's been very cold in the -25, -30 range for a week, and it's forecast to be that for the next week. And last week, somebody asked me to do a quick review on boots. So this is going to be a very quick video, but I'm a Canadian and we're accustomed to cold. So honestly, I can wear running shoes outside to just walk around and so forth until it's -5, -10. It's no big deal. Certainly if there's no snow. But once it starts to be snow or it gets really cold, boots make a huge difference in keeping you comfortable. Now, you've all seen these. These are my hiking boots. Now, I don't wear these very often in the winter for a couple of reasons. The first reason is they're very tight on my feet. That's how I like my summer boots. I like them tight for hiking. But the opposite is true. In the winter, I want a looser boot, because the looser your boot is, the more you have that little space of insulation inside the boot between your foot and the boot, and that keeps you warm because that space gets heated up by your foot. Whereas if I'm wearing these tight boots outside, my foot is basically touching the surface of the boot and it gets very cold. The other problem with this boot is the soles are very hard, so you'd be slipping. So outside, this rubber becomes hard as a puck, and you'd be slipping all over the place. So these are not very good for winter. Now, when it gets really cold outside, -15, and there's snow, and I'm just going about doing something like going for a walk, or going to get the mail, or doing a minor activity, even basically a walk outside, I wear these boots that are loose on my feet. I wear them with a couple of pairs of socks. The soles are a little softer on these, and they're fantastic. Now, if I'm going out to do something like snowshoeing, or an activity of some sort, if I'm going snowshoeing, or if I'm going for a little hike around in the snow where I don't need snowshoes, I wear a hunting boot like this one. It's a high calf boot. It's tight on my foot. And I wear it with additional insoles in them, so I put insoles to keep them warm. It's a loose fitting boot, and it'll keep me very warm. This is a great boot. It's a hunting boot. I wear these when I'm around a campsite in the winter, and that's what I wear. Now, if it starts to get really cold and I'm doing an activity like shoveling snow outside, or going to get firewood or something like that, then I wear these boots. These are a classic Canadian boot. This is a Sorel boot. This is made in Canada. And the Sorel boots, the beauty of the Sorel boots is you have these removable liners, and you can buy different liners with different temperature ratings. But the beauty of these is when you come out, actually where you often see guys come in from outside, and they walk around in the camp or in the house with just their insoles. But the insoles dry quickly, and the beauty is you can get different sets of insoles, and if your insoles get actually what will happen is when it's really hot, your feet will, if you're a person who sweats a lot, you will actually sweat in these boots. These boots are good for about -20, and with these insoles you'll start to sweat in them, so people will come inside and change insoles. Handy if you're so that's one option, is I wear these for moderate activity outside. If I'm going to be outside for a very long time, let's say I'm going out and I'm cutting firewood, or I'm plowing my driveway on a quad, or some type of activity where I'm going to be outside for a very long time when it's extremely cold, this is an extremely cold weather boot. This is a boot that's rated to -100 degrees Celsius. Now that's extremely cold, and the liner in these ones is an upgrade from the liners in the other ones. It's got this really crazy insulating material. The boot has this is thick and also insulated, whereas this is less insulated. So this is a crazy boot for those extremely crazy moments when you need to be outside for a long time and you don't have the opportunity to come back in and warm up. So this is a very warm boot, but it's an expensive boot. You know, these are $200, $300 boot. Now, this is one of my favorite pairs of boots, and you wouldn't think that a pair of rubber boots would be so good. These are Dunlops. These types of boots have been around for at least 15 years now, and it's kind of a rubber foam cell, they call it. It's a rubber that, in the process of vulcanizing, there's little air bubbles in the rubber. So the rubber itself, even though it's very thin, stays very warm. And then you have these crazy tread patterns on the sole that keep you off the ice. And I wear them not even with a liner or anything like that. And you'll see in some of the I'll post a couple of pictures. I actually wear these when I go snowmobiling, because when I'm snowmobiling, I'm not walking. So I mean, that's one of the drawbacks of this boot. There's not a lot of ankle support. So you wouldn't go hiking with this boot. But if you're doing something semi-stationary, like riding a motorcycle, or sorry, an ATV or a snowmobile, this is fantastic. Now these boots, you see them around the oil patch because they're chemical resistant. They're a fantastic boot. And people wouldn't believe it, but they stay warm in very cold temperatures. In fact, your feet sweat in them. And the beauty of this boot when snowmobiling is if you go through a creek or something where it's wet, you are not going to get wet. This is my go-to boot for snowmobiling. It's actually my go-to boot for all-terrain vehicle, for being outdoors, in the mud, in the rain. I've taken them on canoe trips. These are the boots I take on canoe trips. I mean, you can see how worn they are. So this is one of my favorite all-time boots, but it's just not a boot that you would walk a long distance. Actually, none of these boots are. You're not going to hike in a boot like this. It's too heavy, but you can do an activity, like I said, if you're logging. In this boot, you could hike, you could actually snowshoe in this boot. It also doesn't have a lot of ankle support. So this is, like I said, just a good, this is a tobogganing boot. This is a playing in the snow, building snowmen kind of boot. This hiking boot, this winter hiking boot, yes, it's stiff, it's warm. You can hike in it, you can wear it with snowshoes. It's good for that. And you're not going to wear snowshoes with this. You're going to go hiking, but you're not going to go hiking in deep snow. So it's a very quick video. I just wanted to talk, but there are options. There isn't a perfect boot fit all for winter. That's why I have several pairs of boots, and that's my style. Now, if I had to recommend only a couple of pairs of boots for somebody, I would say a pair of boots like this is most people can hike in this and do a little bit of winter activity. If you're coming to visit Canada and you've never been here before, get yourself a nice pair of warm hiking boots like that. And if you can afford it and you live here and you're a crazy outdoor person, get yourself a pair of Dunlops. So there you have it. Quick video, Marty up north. trying to help people find ways to enjoy the cold. This is Canada, and if you don't like the cold, you're going to be miserable. We all get cabin fever, but buying good gear, warm gear, makes going outdoors in the winter pleasurable. Hope you enjoyed this quick video. Thanks, folks.